Okay, next we're going to go over the shift toolbar. We're here in the demo department. An important thing to note is that if you're in your nursing direct department or whatever department that you may be in, you'll have multiple shifts within that department. So each shift, like CNA day and CNA evening and CNA night, will have its own shift toolbar. The shift toolbar is this blue bar right here with these 5 tools off to the side. What we're going to do in the demo department is go over some demonstrations of what these 5 tools are used for, so that you can use them on your own. The first one that we're going to go over is the shift target tool. So if we click on it, it's the pencil icon. It pulls up our shift targets. It has Sunday through Saturday, and what it's asking us is for each day of the week, Sunday through Saturday, how many people do you want on your schedule? Or how many employees do you want working that specific shift? For now, we're going to assume that 5 is okay and save it and move on. The next one we're going to go to works in conjunction with our shift targets and with what is currently on the schedule. It is our icon right here, which tells us to add or remove open app shifts in the next 30 days. What's going to come up is our shift targets right here in the middle, saying that we want 5 people. On the left, it's going to show us actually how many people we have scheduled for that specific day. So as we can see, January 4th, we have 3 people scheduled. Our target is 5. We have 0 open shifts currently, so it's telling us to open 2 to meet our target. I clicked on the open. It's going to think and open up those shifts for me. I could do that for the next 30 days. And that's what we encourage, to open up shifts for the next 30 days. For this example, I'm just going to do the next 3. It does take a few seconds for these things to load, but typically you won't be loading many at a time. You'll be staying on top of it so that you can always have shifts opened up 30 days in advance. Once these are done loading, I'm going to X out and show you what this does to our schedule. It's going to add open shifts onto the orange rows at the bottom. So I'm going to exit out here. I'm going to refresh the page, and we're going to see that January 4th, 5th, and 6th has new open shifts. That the 4th has 2, the 5th has 3, and the 6th has 2. This is to meet our needs of 5 employees each day. This is super important because this is where our employees pick up shifts, not on this exact schedule, but on their phone. They'll receive a list of all the open shifts that they themselves are eligible to pick up. That list comes from your schedule. So if they're a CNA day and you've opened up shifts for the CNAs, they can then look at their list and pick up those shifts. Once they do, it'll send that information back through the cloud to Cover, and that open will be replaced with their name. Okay, next we're going to look and see what happens when we change our shift targets. So let's assume that our census took a hit and that we want only 4 people scheduled on this area for each day of the week, right? So let's change all these numbers to 4, assuming that we only want 4 employees working, and save these numbers. We're then going to look at the same information on the add or remove open and app shifts and see what has changed. Okay, so for the rest of the days, it looks like we're on target a bit more of the days. For one of the days, it's showing that we're overscheduled. If I click on the overscheduled for January 17th, nothing happens. That's because we have too many people. We already have 5 people scheduled there, and 4 people is all we need according to our shift targets. So with overscheduled, that's something that you personally would handle as the scheduler. You would make a call off for that day to meet your needs. Up top, where we've already opened up shifts for those days, it's saying we need to close 1 shift for each day now because we need 1 less worker. So if I hit close here and close here and close here, it will think and it will actually take away those 3 excessive open and app shifts. This is why it's important to open up this location or this tool each and every day and decide what to open up and what to close according to where your shift targets are currently at. And again, your shift targets will fluctuate as your census does. As the amount of clients in your facility increases or decreases, so will the amount of employees you have looking after them, and therefore so will your shift targets. Okay, we're going to exit out of here and continue on with the rest of our tour here. We'll refresh later on to see these open in app shifts removed. The next thing we're going to go over is another tool similar. It's the overs and unders tool. If I click on it, it's going to show me similar information up here. It's just going to show me how many I am over and how many I am under according to my shift targets. And it's also going to show how many open in app shifts I have down here. So this will load and again look at the same information and tell us the same stuff. This is there if you want to open shifts up or see your needs on a day-to-day or month-to-month basis through this way. Okay, we see them loading here and we could see which days we're under, which days we're over, and which days we have open shifts already in the system. So that's what that is there. That way you could use scheduling tools to schedule stuff out here if needs be, or look and realize where your call-offs need to be as well. Okay, the next icon we're going to go over is this one with the person right here. It's your FTE report. If we go to it, your FTE report is your full-time employee needs. So it's going to look at the amount of hours that you have said that you want your full-time employees to be working for that shift, right? And our target is 168. The amount of employees that we have scheduled is 138. This is showing us that we need one more full-time employee scheduled to meet that target hours. Okay, the last icon that we're going to go to is the add row icon. What this is for is if you're adding an employee to your shift, right? Let's say instead your census has increased, you need to add a whole nother full-time employee, not just PRNs picking up shifts. You could add a new shift row right here. You could change the start time. We're going to change it to 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the end time. The end time, or both the times, are in military time, so it's important to note that 3 p.m. here would actually be 1500. Let's say that the meal length is 30 minutes and it's a 7.5 hour long shift. We're going to add this shift and it'll add a blank white row at the bottom of this shift here. At a later video, we're going to explain how to organize these shift rows to match up so that this white row could have someone added to it and that it could be up with Pete and Pluto or up here with Goofy so that it could have its own place and own location. I hope that all makes sense. If you're confused about anything, you could always visit our help tools to ask for more help. Thank you so much.